Ooh, thanks, computer lady.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
As is tradition.
As it was foretold in prophecy. Welcome back. Here we go. When last we left our intrepid adventurers, you,
We.
Not me.
Yuns.
Yins, that's for all you folks following in Pittsburgh.
Y'all.
The party had gotten on board with a small caravan that was taking the northern trading route along the Bos Chando forest. The caravan master, Altus, had brought everyone to a known and relatively decent camping area. Circled the wagons. It was late in the day, and folks decided this was, this is where we rest, and had the unfortunate luck of encountering what the other caravan folk described as a land shark. A beast with massive claws and teeth, a triangular armor-plated head with very small eyes hooded over, massive, bulky limbs, and the claws just were designed for digging. It burrowed its way up out of the ground and then leapt to the attack, tearing apart two of the wagons and leaving multiple injured or dead, until our glorious party members decided it was time for that to stop, and did a horrendous amount of damage to it in a very short amount of time.
To be fair, it was equally keen on doing a horrendous amount of damage to us in a short amount of time.
It did attempt to do that, did it not?
It did.
It did. It took a big old chunk out of our dwarf.
It did.
Meaty.
Gristle.
Gristle.
And it's been marinated in all that wine and booze.
So I split its head.
It's a delicate flavor.
Gristly and depressed.
A little earthy. Mineral. Taste of minerals.
Ooh, mineral water.
For some reason, I'm detecting just a trace amount of salt, and I don't know why.
Trace amount. No, right, Dave R isn't here.
Yeah, I was about to say, our cleric. No, that's our cleric.
Yes, very salty. So when we left off, it was essentially in the aftermath. One of the ruined wagons had large pieces of it that had been driven directly through large pieces of Altus, the caravan master. There are other folks that were injured. One of the guards made a run for it. You do not know what has happened to that person.
Good riddance.
Combi food.
The horses have scattered, which is probably not a great thing, given that there are still the combi wandering the plains.
Gotta go and try and get the horses back.
Okay. Do you have any skill whatsoever based around animal handling or knowledge of animals or anything vaguely even remotely like that?
I
Of
do.
me? No.
Excellent. Good choice.
I have a +1, so not really.
Um,
And I have a
Really?
decent wisdom. I have a decent wisdom score, but I'm not skilled in animal handling. I didn't leave the house much.
so you join some of the other caravan folk and do a lot of this, trying to herd them back into where they belong.
Where's their feed? Because they want to go far, right? Can't you just put like a pile down and they'll come back?
I mean, this is a plains. It's covered
They're
in grass.
grazing.
Oh, yeah. they do
It's
eat
literally
grass. Never
everywhere.
mind.
Where's their food? Everywhere.
Never mind.
Did you look around?
Yeah.
Man,
Oh, look, a city dweller.
Even I knew
First off,
that
I
much.
warned everybody when I logged in, I'm tired.
listen. It doesn't matter what the intelligence on your sheet is. Most of us are dealing with fatigue. It's a low intelligence game day.
Yes, it is.
Oh, this should be delightful then, because everything I have set up is intrigue.
Oh,
Uh,
all right. So we're gonna spend the next hour and a half gutting this creature. Cool.
But I can bring some more smash if you want.
I'd rather.
I'm good with dissecting.
I need, so the dissection team,
Yeah.
you managed to stabilize, and during our previous session, you did manage to stabilize Altus.
And started working on reversing his transition to part kebab. Yes.
Exactly. Your other, the other person that has sort of been bumping along with you, having little chats, was a
Storm.
lady named
Mhm.
Storm, and she starts the healing. Let the healing begin. She assists with that in patching him up and getting him to come around and getting the pieces of quasi kebab out of him.
Excellent.
And you were endeavoring to harvest some pieces of this creature.
Correct. After, we de-kebab the caravan lead. Yes.
Who all is going to be part of this process?
nope.
What process? I was not even listening. I'm sorry.
Harvesting ingredients from
I'll
From
do
the
it.
dead
land.
shark.
Oh. See ya.
Thea
Okay.
and Azathan appear to be the dissection team,
We need your axes.
the autopsy team.
I need you each to roll a 20-sider for me,
I already
tell me-
split the thing's head in half.
because there has been some damage.
That's fine. Is it just a flat roll, or do you want that to be medicine or
Nature or
Let's go with nature.
with nature? Okay.
I
That
got a
is
4.
It's like I'm rolling, huh?
found its brain. That's its liver.
Hold on, because I have to do,
Oh,
yeah, because these didn't update automatically. Because all the skills are the skill value is your stat value plus your proficiency value, correct? Unless you have expertise.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Then these did not automatically update.
Proficiency has gone up to a +3.
Oh, good. Then I will need to automatically update all of these. Whoops. Okay. So let me just double
Lovely.
check, because nature is intelligence. That's +6. Okay, so that'll be a 21.
You
I have a 17.
have a horrifying moment when you realize the amount of damage that Thea is doing. And she cuts your harvest in half.
Thea,
What?
She's out there with one of Dundon's axes just going, this will be cool.
stop. Don't.
Why is this piece so crispy? Cracked shell like an egg.
I'll just
Dust.
remove that axe from her hand.
I was using that though, so you didn't have to.
Too late. You've done enough for us.
You're welcome.
Thank you
Elspeth's in the
muchly.
background chasing a horse.
Could you go help poor Elsbeth track down a horse, or go count leaves on a tree somewhere while I go try and get something here, please?
If I must.
I implore it, please. So
I'll give you a gold piece if you go. And collect the
here,
horses.
it's shiny. Whoosh. No. So now that the terror is gone, does that help improve?
Damage done. You
Considerable.
get about half the claws and probably a third of the teeth, and that's really the only stuff you could pull from this. I mean, sure, if you wanted to carve out meat and cook it, but
I'm kind of looking for some internal guts, actually, because that shit can turn into potions real quick. Not much here.
It doesn't really. I mean, you kind of like, as you dig into it, you're like, this isn't really. None of it's really working out. You're going to get. You could probably draw like 150 gold for the claws, and maybe 30 for the teeth, but this is not a super valuable specimen.
What about the armor plating?
It is, being a natural thing, that it is attached and associated with its musculature. It's really hard to separate it, and by the time you do, it's just as cracked as the one you hit on its head.
Gotcha.
Oh, are they known for anything medicinally, for like shark fin soup?
It's not an actual shark.
Well, I didn't know what the minerals and stuff in the land shark.
What's that?
Nothing. I realized how stupid I sounded as it came out, and I'm not repeating it. We're good.
Don't worry, it's recorded and on the internet.
It's recorded for posterity.
Right.
Forever.
We'll roll back and cover that one again later.
Roll back the tape.
So, as you do eventually round up the horses, Elsbeth, do a passive perception for me.
Passive perception is 13.
You, as you're rounding up horses, you get this really creepy feeling like you're being watched.
From where?
It's hard to tell, but you're just like, you got that, like the hairs stand up on the back of your neck. You're like, I'm being watched. Something's not cool here.
Do I pick up anything being by her because I have the observant thing?
What is the observant thing? Give me a roll.
What her passive perception is increased by 5.
Mhm.
Yeah. Your passive, is she doing active or passive perception?
Passive, because she was told to go count leaves, so she's not really paying attention.
Oh, so your passive is 10 plus all relevant modifiers.
It should be for her.
Which is, sorry, which modifier am I doing?
10 plus your wisdom modifier. Are you proficient?
It's 11.
Don't forget to add 5 from your observant.
So 16.
16.
You think you see something moving in the long grass, but you're not sure.
Oh, look, more ingredients. And this time they brought themselves to us.
This one did too.
Yeah, but this one, at least we had no warning.
Yeah, Elspeth's just sort of like trying to look around, get a sense of is this? Do I feel like it's? Do I feel like it's a creature or something else? Because I know there are spells for scrying.
It does not feel like a spell.
Okay, there's something here. Who's near me?
What's the
Me.
what's the likelihood that a smaller, well, yeah, I guess. Okay. I'm like still somewhat center of wagons.
Yep.
Yeah, but both myself and Dundon are near the center of these wagons.
I think Elspeth and
Yep,
I are more over here.
Yeah, probably.
Because we're over by the horses still.
Care,
Right?
care
So
to
you're-
alert anyone about said
Uh,
sensations? Just
Thea, do you think there's anything here?
I think there's something there. I don't know what.
Oh,
It could be the wind. Wait, do we feel
maybe-
wind? Let me ask that first. Do my characters feel wind first? Or is it
No.
like a dead wind? Oh,
is it
No.
possible that it's the runaway uh wagon guy?
He went the other way.
yeah.
I have a feeling he's combi food. Don't go in the tall grass.
It
It's
is
all
the
tall
tall
grass,
grass,
isn't it?
just beyond where you are. There's a little
Probably.
rise, goes into a little hollow. There's some good rocks over there, a couple of scrubby trees.
hey guys.
Just come back.
Are we within earshot?
Oh, easily.
Okay. Maybe we should bring the horses a little closer in.
Do
Now
the
that we've
horses look
gotten them
panicked?
back, maybe, grab the reins and kind of trot them a little closer to us. Although, I'm thinking we just killed a big predator and there's a lot of guts laying around. Smaller predators may come for dinner. So perhaps we should relocate the wagons, or maybe just move off to the side a piece.
You can go spelunking into the little hole over there. Land shark's home.
No.
So
I'm gonna try and do the horses look scared, panicked? I mean, now that we've got them back up.
not particularly, but these are very tame horses. They are not, they are hitched all the time. You know what I mean? They are significantly more domesticated than other animals of the plains who may or may not be very aware of this sort of thing.
Okay. I vote we move camp. All in favor?
Sure.
The caravan master says, yes, absolutely, we need to move. We cannot stay here. We will get eaten.
Okay, I'm down for that. Let's go. Try
Uh,
and coax the horses because I'm not that strong.
He begins to, now that Storm has brought him around and got him standing on his feet, he begins to organize people and starts to get some of the goods shifted. You have to move 2 wagons worth of stuff out of those destroyed wagons. They are scavenging as many pieces of those wagons as they can carry, unbolt, remove, roll, or otherwise get associated with the mobile wagons.
DM, quick question.
Yeah.
You said that at least this first one just had a busted wheel, right?
Mm-hmm.
How bad was this other one?
Like, can we fix the take one wheel and fix it?
I'm gonna roll over to the one broken wheel here on the back, and I'm going to cast mending on the wheel.
A lot.
All right. So you have one wagon to move stuff. You have
Which-
mended it, and
Is much better than 2.
Altus is extremely thankful. You will be rewarded for this.
I'm throwing in and
Yep.
relocating things.
Okay.
Well,
So while all this is going on, with all
Proceeds
the
move closer.
Yep. While this is going on, it is getting towards dark because you were attempting to settle down for the night. There is no known place that is close. This was the camping spot, if you will.
Yeah.
So there may be some need, if you will, to push on for longer than you might like.
It's
through
a
the
rough
evening
ride.
hours.
This is going to be a rough ride.
What else while you're preparing to go?
Well, didn't we separate into 2 groups when we got here? One group went a little bit further on and we stayed at this location.
I don't think
I
so.
don't remember that. No.
Okay.
I think it was more just a comment on the fact that there were only so many wagons and stuff set up and only so many minis on the Ford.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, I didn't populate it with all the people. There was a group of people that basically ran away when this thing attacked and sort of huddled off to the side by the trees, waiting to see what happened, kind of a thing. But they're sorry, I was completely distracted by the fact that Thea just went plump.
Sorry.
Oops.
Again, we're on my phone.
There were a handful of people that basically ran away and huddled, not ran away like the guard who took off running, and you find that he's still not accounted for. And
All right.
Altus says, count him unemployed. Let's go.
Okay.
Sounds
Going
like
out.
combi food to me.
Anything else before you leave the site?
Do we want to check the whole?
Yes.
All right. Can I get a second from someone who isn't as impulsive as Thea? Okay.
My unseen servant is raising his hand.
Yes, but we can't see him, so it doesn't
Yeah, I was
count.
about to
Did
say.
you waste a spell slot to really to do that?
It's a
No.
no.
It's not a cantrip.
No, it's not. All right, that is. But no, I did not actually do that.
That'd be hilarious, though. Give him a little paddle like you have for auctions.
I am going to find one.
A little paddle with a middle finger on it.
All
Just a
right.
whole series of paddles. Here's my thought on that.
Congratulations, Wile E. Coyote.
That's awesome. That's a great idea.
Couple
for
of
Unseen
terrabangs.
Servant.
That'd be great. So we're looking in the hole.
All right, who's going in?
Not me.
All right.
I don't trust that hole.
Look, she's just like launching herself into the hole.
You know what? With that degree of enthusiasm, I'll save the wild shape. All right.
Yeah.
All right, Thea, you going in?
Yes.
I'll
Head first or feet first?
Before we head down the hole, can we see whether it is, a steep drop, just like an easygoing path down in?
No, it goes down, and then it looks like it turns hard.
So it
Feet
literally just
first.
launched itself up out of the ground. Like a
So
shark.
there's no getting out of
attacking a
that
seal.
hole easily. How deep does it go?
probably 10 or 12 feet down.
It's not too bad.
You know, it's going to be a pain to get out.
I got
Oh,
rope.
It'll be a pain for you. The dwarf and the rogue and the dude who can be a bird shouldn't have any problem.
Well, I'll stay here.
Yeah, I can climb. I'm good.
Keep helping Althus.
Yes.
And I will be staying topside, but I will be next to the hole just in case.
All right.
Feet first.
Let's go sally forth into the hole.
Another
All right.
fucking hole.
You drop down in, and it's not tunnel size. It's not like you can walk. You have to hands and knees crawl still or crouch. And it is not particularly stable. It's all like tree roots and dirt falling on you. It's very messy.
All right.
But it does is leads off. Whoops. Let's try that again. What it does is the tunnel leads off in this direction. One more try. Leads off in that direction. There we go. And eventually you reach a point where it sort of opens up and it becomes almost like a burrow / nest, because a part of it actually opens up into this little this little clear spot inside this little opening, almost inside this copse of trees, these nasty scrubby little trees that are in there, and it's almost like it's got this weird quasi nest, but it also has a couple of tunnels out to go underneath the trees.
So it comes up within the trees?
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, like, not inside the trunk, but like there's a ring of trees and it kind of has like a little nest spot inside that.
Ah. Are there
Is
any
there any
others?
treasure that it's taken from other people?
Oh.
Are there any signs of additional land sharks?
That too.
Oh, look at you. That's how we roll. Safety second.
Remember,
Priorities.
work always comes first.
And safety.
Listen, what part of your life is the equivalent of a 300 gold diamond was missed?
So
Well, I have to look for that.
Exactly. So until you have it, be careful.
searching. What variation of search sort of a roll can you give me?
Which one?
Both of you.
I can do an investigation one.
Because you're scrounging for stuff.
Hey. Oh, well, that's a good roll.
And
That's 23.
and Dundon is looking for signs of others of these creatures.
Yeah, I'm looking. So what would I look for? What would I
Fire up a 20-sided roll. Tell me what you
any modifiers or just straight?
get. We'll just do like a perception or investigation or whatever works, whatever's the best for you.
Okay. 17.
All right. So you're looking around and you find all sorts of signs that this creature has sort of lived here for a while, but you don't find any signs that they're like, you somehow think there would be something that would show if there was more than just the one.
Yeah.
And you really don't get that feeling. What you do find is a crap load of bones, bits of leather, chunks of wood and stuff just kind of scattered all through here. And as Thea is rooting around, she finds a big old chunk of metal that's sort of half buried under a mound of dirt.
Gonna dig it out.
All right. So you start digging. Do you say anything about this?
Not yet. I'm still digging.
Okay. So Dundon, as you're looking around, checking things out, you realize that Thea has stopped looking and is now currently rummaging, digging into a mound of dirt and nasty stuff.
I'm gonna venture over and take a look and see if I can tell what she's mucking about with.
Something metal in there.
I'm pretty good at identifying metals.
So
How'd I take a look?
after she digs for a minute, you get the edges and you're like, grab a hold of it, and you yank it out, and it's a round shield. And once you pull that out, you realize that there are a handful of other things. If you were to really give get rooting around and really dig right around in this area, you could probably find some other things. Because you can see the end of some kind of a handle sticking out just nearby where that one bone is.
I'd like to continue digging, but I think this may be a nice location to kind of hide out from whatever's in the weeds. Might be a nice location for everyone. Well, we'd probably lose the horses though. Yeah.
I'm starting to channel Belgar now. Oh my god.
You mean, oh, his god.
So are you gonna, I presume you're gonna continue to dig and try to root this stuff out?
Well, my main concern is the rest of the party. Trying to figure out what to do with them. I mean, do I have enough time to do that and still go back and say, hey guys,
Oh yeah.
we might have found a location to hunker down for the night.
Yeah. So it actually doesn't take all that long once you figure out that it's sort of along this one side.
Okay.
It's like all the stuff kind of gets shoved over into the corner because it wasn't particularly interested in those leftover bits.
All right. Yeah. Then
as you move away from that, there's like skulls and a couple of ribs and some other weird pieces that you're like, I'm not sure what that is.
Oh,
I'll go ahead and do a little shoveling in there and dig it out.
Okay. So
Thea's got an idea though, which frightens me.
no, don't worry about it. I'm going to send you a message, Eric.
Good.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Pay no attention to my DM.
You find
DM.
mixed in the leftover bits and pieces, a dagger, a sword, that shield. There's actually, once you figure it out, because it looks like it's sort of entwined with the roots of a thing, there's actually a quarterstaff in there.
Ooh.
And in one portion that's really like rammed up against a chunk of a big fat chunk of rock, there's actually a hammer.
Ooh, hammer.
Yep.
To Papa.
I want the dagger.
As you pull it out, you realize you're like, oh, this is weighted very nicely. But all of the pieces here seem to have survived, whereas any other bits of detritus that you find, there's little pieces of like, moldery pages and leather bits that are faded away. And if it's not really solid, it didn't survive here.
So dagger, shield, quarterstaff, sword, hammer.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hammer.
I want the dagger, please.
You literally
You
have
have
more
two magic
daggers.
daggers.
Yeah,
than you have hands.
we're not too worried about like dividing up the spoils at the
moment.
moment.
Also, I have to run to the bathroom, so I will be back.
I'm gonna wander back up the tunnel here a little bit and call to Azathan to let him know what we found.
Do you have
Magic.
nature because you're a druid, I presume?
Mm-hmm.
Make a roll.
That's a natural 20.
You have, as he calls up, you have this moment, you have this epiphany, you're like, oh wait. And you look and you're like, oh, well, of course, if you go over there, that would be the part where it would be, it would find this scrungy part and make a nest, and you're like, makes perfect sense. And you could actually go around a bunch of these trees and some of the rocks and find a way, like as you travel far enough around this bunch of trees, you can actually find a spot. You're like, oh yeah, you can get in from the outside. Basically, there's a way in
Another entrance.
scrubby thing. There's another entrance.
How big is this entrance?
Big enough for the horses, because it was big enough for that thing.
I'll go bring the others.
Huzzah!
All
Did
right,
you
so
see my note, Eric?
working on it.
It's nothing bad.
If it was nothing bad, then you would have told everyone.
No, you does.
Okay. Well, this is going to be a treat.
So, basically, you move far enough away. Ballpark 150 yards, something like that. You move far enough away from where you were that you don't think any sort of scavenger or predator of the plains or anything like that would necessarily get right up on you. The caravan master thinks this is a great idea because usually the nesting spots of predators, other big creatures don't really go there. They're like, nah, that's your area, it's on you. So he puts a half circle of the wagons around the opening, bring the horses on the inside. They do not want to be here because they can tell where they are and they are not into it.
I would like to try and calm the horses down.
Give me a roll.
Animal handling is something I can do because I work with. Actually, is it something I can do? Yes, it is. The momentary panic of I work with plants, not animals. Oh, that's okay either way. That would be a 23.
Woo!
So, in a weird maneuver from the point of view of the other party members, Mushroom Boy is really, really good with horses. And it's sort of like they have one drover with the group, and he's like, wow, you're really good at this. And he wants to talk tips and grooming and all sorts of things with you.
It's just a druid thing. I mostly work with plants. I don't know anything that you're about to try to talk with me about.
You straight up pulled an Egon.
Yeah, I was going to say he works with molds and spores.
More mold, spores, and funguses.
That was a total Egon.
Social, nothing.
No, not in the slightest. I appreciate it. This is for our benefit. I do this. This is just a it's a druid thing. Don't
make a big thing of it.
Yeah.
I'm just a druid. I'm gonna go check with Alphys and see if this is gonna be one of those evenings where we're actually able to cook some food, or if this is gonna be like hit the rations and the dried camp food and then hunker down.
He is all about having a fire lit because that will help keep away certain things.
Yep.
He is rearranging the guard duty schedule to make certain that there are, appropriate folks all along the course of the night. He looks unhealthy.
Well, he should.
He's not. He's doing a lot of arranging and a lot of talking and not a lot of moving. He's just sort of sitting around a lot. He does not look. He's very weak looking, pallid, kind of.
Well, he was mostly dead.
So, to that, I am going to walk over to the entrance that the wagon or the horses came through, and I'm going to go to the center of this. I'm imagining it as an arc, and I'm going to plant the staff in the center of this archway. Channel through the staff for a moment and cast continual flame, and leave it just sit right in the center of the doorway. So for that, DM, let me go grab that card real quick. Basically, there is a permanent, ever-burning flame that just sits right in the most inconvenient place within that entrance.
When you say permanent, how permanent?
Until I dispel it.
Okay. Just making sure I understand.
Yeah.
Important side note. Until I dispel it.
It's until I
Yeah.
dispel it. Yes. Let me double check everything because I have a million cards and I can't remember what level of spell that is.
While he's doing that, I'm going to start wrangling up a fire so we can start getting everyone some food and some
Yep.
rest.
Yep. So it is a very quiet evening. It is a very productive evening given how it sort of started out.
Any sounds come from the what's left of the
Oh yeah.
yeah
There's some really horrifying sounds coming from over there.
with the old night vision. Can we see anything, or
You don't want to see that.
I want to know what I'm up against?
Combi.
We
So
don't make eye contact.
when you do go and look, you see at least 3 combi that you can count.
All right.
And they are probably as big as your horses.
All right.
So
Jesus.
imagine a tiger on steroids with armor.
Never mind. New fear acquired.
But they are 100% scavenging.
Hey,
Like-
DM, what CR is a combi?
What did I miss?
So as everyone has moved over to your new camping spot in the former nest of the thing that you killed, everyone's sort of looking back at where you were and where you left the big chunks of carcass, and there's at least 3 combi that are out there, which is essentially, imagine a giant tiger on steroids with armor plates.
Is it like Cringer from He-Man? You know, the battle cat.
I knew someone was going to go there.
As soon as he said it, I realized he was.
I didn't give it to you. I should have.
Yeah.
I knew someone was going there. They don't look very cringy. They look sort of hungry, and they have big fat claws that they're tearing things apart with.
All right. Well, it's a good thing we're over here.
Very much so.
All right.
You as a thing, you do suspect you could take them, but it wouldn't be pretty.
It would not be worth the amount of resources it would take to patch people back up.
Oh no.
You do, and Elsbeth, you actually do know something about that from studies that you have had politically and things like that. Combi hunt is an Azinthian rite of passage. So
How the heck did Elsbeth kill a combi?
oh no, she just
Not Azinthian.
she just
Oh.
knows that this is a thing.
Oh, that's right.
That makes Azinthians are fucking terrifying.
Oh, we're in the Azithian plains. That's right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm from Trokal.
Yeah, she's
That's- yeah.
she's the other side.
Yeah, so folks from Trokal are known for, water-based stuff, including a really strong navy and huge shipping ports and things like that.
Mhm.
And
I feel like we're
also-
just having this conversation while we're watching the comedy do their thing.
yeah, and also
Yeah.
known to consider the free city of Lithia a giant thorn in its side.
Yeah, Trokalian control of the seas would be basically uncontested if it weren't for Lithia.
Pretty much.
Gotcha.
So what I'm imagining for this scene is that it goes from Azathan the horse soother going to all of us having this conversation about how awful everything is and how terrified the combi are, while just standing there and watching them like we're fucking window shopping.
Oh, we're probably eating at the same time.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
let's face it.
Having a snack.
Yeah.
Having a wow,
And
those
you
are
can't
really
forget our wine that we have, or the whiskey that we brought.
yeah, those-
Yeah.
I would try and save some for like really special occasions. Actually, you know what? We didn't die to that. I will call that a special occasion.
I can't drink.
But the so
probably
yeah,
could
so
actually, but-
Azinthians essentially an Azinthian war party is decidedly something fearsome. And they are known horsemen, and they have lancers, and when they go hunt combi, they don't take the horses. They just take spears.
Interesting.
I wouldn't
So-
want to get close to those things either.
Yeah, no, spheres.
So
Red
yeah,
shoes.
they're kind of badass.
Sounds like a good time.
Not great.
I'm going to talk with the rest of the guys about the spoils, as it were. We found Thea has a dagger that she
Another
happened
one.
to find buried. There's a shield, a quarterstaff, a sword, and a hammer.
Are they magical? Sight.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of them.
Thank you, sir. Ma'am.
Okay,
It's dark.
time to start identifying.
Yes, please do.
So these things have essentially, whereas Thea has rip and tear, they're very specific. These are not that, if that makes sense. They are magical. They have been imbued with power, but they are utilitarian power, if that makes sense.
Okay.
There's
Not
no
chaotic in nature, but more just general
It's just-
purpose.
It's more like this dagger is, say, enchanted to not grow dull, thus making it a great utility knife.
but it's way more powerful than that.
All right.
They're powerful, but they're plain.
So, like, if an average person were to stab somebody with this, would it do one more damage or? Oh, okay.
3.
It's a +3 dagger.
I would like to call that one.
Aw.
Oh, okay. So
you
they're
have-
enchanted, but they're not storied. Got it.
Yes. Yes, there's no
There you go.
story with them.
So
They're deeply magical, but they are not. There's no questing.
They're not
there's
named.
There's no names. They're just power.
Okay.
is this a light hammer, warhammer,
Warhammer.
ball peen hammer? Okay, it's a warhammer. What kind of splatter factor does it have?
That is also
Oh.
That's another +3.
So +3 dagger, +3 hammer. What's the shield? +2,
And the staff.
+1 quarterstaff.
You can have the dagger.
I don't have a magic weapon.
Take the staff.
take the sword.
I'm not proficient in swords.
Hey Dundon, if you put that shield on your back, maybe it'll help you out.
Like a turtle.
Help me out, how?
I'm sorry, my fucking audio processing issues just kicked in. What?
Help me out, how?
I mean, it's a giant shield on your back. I'd imagine not getting shot in the back is an ideal thing.
I'm
When
pretty
you-
sure he's mocking you.
No, I'm not
Yeah.
mocking him. You listen.
Oh, that one was in character.
I know. I'm not mocking him.
I just worry about the potential for limitation of movement.
Reasonable. How big is the shield compared to the dwarf?
Is it something I could actually wear as protection on my back without
It's a
hindering my movement?
It's basically a human-sized shield.
That's a little big.
Well, I am 5'4".
Yeah, he's not that short.
Oh, you're a huge dwarf.
I'm a huge dwarf. Yeah.
You could use it,
All right.
but a shield and a weapon as opposed to two weapons. So your call.
Yeah. Well, Warhammer is that a two-hander?
The
Good question.
Warhammer?
Don't remember.
No, I don't think the Warhammer has the versatile.
It's versatile 1d10.
Warhammer is
Oh,
versatile.
is it
You could
versatile?
use one-handed or two.
Ooh. All right. Well, then I'll do Warhammer and a one of my silver axes.
So the Warhammer, so that you know, is D8 for damage. For bludgeoning,
Yes.
Which
1d8.
is- which is more than your D6 for your axe.
Yeah, he wants to do one Warhammer, one axe, I believe. He's still two
Yep.
weaponing.
Cool.
Also, if you chew
It's just
hand
something I'll
the
have to
Warhammer,
keep
it's a
track of
D10.
when I'm smashing things.
Well, it's good that we have it. I don't think we'll be able to use anything, and anything we can't use, at least we'll be able to sell.
I'll hold on to the quarterstaff. I'm not very good with them, but
Though actually,
You have a staff.
I don't use a staff as a focus. I use a rod.
Azathan has a staff.
I do, so I'm not interested in the quarterstaff. However, I may take that shield. I think I'm gonna take that shield.
Shield blocking. Go ahead. Here you go.
So that is
Get this
a
hat for you. You look like a mushroom.
that's a listen, don't tempt me. I'll get a fucking mushroom hat.
Nothing can get me. Clean, clean.
Listen,
You're gonna look like that dude from the Mortal Kombat thing.
Oh,
you fucking riding? Really?
Or Kung Lao. Kung
Uh,
Lao scarier.
so you said it was a +3 shield?
+2.
+2. Okay. That'll be useful.
Undecorated.
Even
Did someone-
better,
Did someone take the sword?
Nope.
because I was in desperate need of that AC boost.
I'm gonna hold on to the quarterstaff. I can use that as a focus still.
I guess I took that shield and the +3 dagger.
There you go.
So that makes
The
sense.
sword?
No.
Do you have a sword?
She got rip and
Yes,
tear.
rip and tear.
Remind me again, attack bonus is your proficiency modifier plus your attribute related attribute, correct?
Yes, assuming you're proficient.
Yeah, I do have a short sword.
Assuming I'm proficient.
Was it a short sword or is it a regular sword?
It is in
Sword or
fact a
long
short sword.
And it was plus what?
+2.
+2.
Sure, I'll just swap it out.
There we go.
Yeah,
Everybody's happy.
Yep, I'm not proficient in dexterity or strength, so none of those matter.
Huzzah.
So it's just my proficiency bonus. Mm.
Oh, do you have bad dex and strength?
I have, what's your strength, Terrence?
I have an 11 strength.
have less strength than you.
Ah,
I have 9 strength
I'm gonna make you guys hold the door.
and 16 dex.
Could be a door stopper.
So reasonable dexterity.
see, I can make a door not move.
I can too. It just requires a spell. Or,
That's right.
using a stick.
The both of you go, we're not using muscle power for this one. We're using brain power.
Or
So
I just,
got your reference
or I just, wild shape into a bear and sit in front of the door
for an hour.
for an hour.
Yeah, I mean, mine doesn't last longer than an hour anyway, so.
We had this conversation last time.
Okay. So, an uneventful evening of recovery. Consider it a long rest.
Fantastic.
Figuring out all of the new equipment, getting it adjusted, strapped on, hooked up, whatever it is you need to do, a little practice, working it out. Anything else?
I would like to tend and check on Altus for his
I was gonna
wounds.
say,
He is going to survive, but he is not happy.
I am
Not
going
happy,
to
Bob.
not happy.
Question.
well, I mean, he has had things inside of him.
Question. I have a list of all the items I've identified. I
Hmm.
think I'm the one holding on to those.
Probably.
There's an augmentation crystal for a staff.
Oh, yeah, no, I
He
have
has that.
You had that. Okay.
I am going to reach into my alchemy pouch, start rooting around for some things to Altus. What kind of pain are you in?
What kind of pain am I not in? Would be a more appropriate question. There were
Not.
things stuck through me.
Nods, starts reaching into his bag and sorting through things. Yeah. Magic is a pretty solid healer, but it doesn't fix everything. Wish it did. Start pulling out some ingredients in a small mortar and pestle and start working something. So when are we gonna hit our first town?
Should have been able to get there tomorrow. Might not make it tomorrow. Might have to be the next day. Depends on how everyone travels.
Day or two. Okay. reach in, add in some other ingredients moving forward.
You have Storm's undivided attention. She hasn't said anything since the
Mhm.
fight.
Since the fight. Okay. I am going to use some of the spare ingredients left over from that I'd picked up from the market and put together not a healing potion, but something that should take some of the edge off of the pain. And just finish processing it through and turn it into a small concoction, hand it to Altus. Should take the edge off.
2 questions.
Mm-hmm.
What color is it and how does it smell? Because if you mix it with mushrooms, there may be a reaction to that.
I did not mix them with mushrooms. And are you asking me based on your system or
Just
it is hold on, let me think about what I went in this.
more role play than anything.
Okay. It is a once it is processed through and put in the vial, it is a bit of like a rust color, kind of like a bit of a muddied red. But it is a generally thin, or it's not a particularly viscous liquid. And it smells, I won't say minty, but it has that kind of effervescence.
So healing potions and particularly antitoxins have
Yeah.
a similar minty sort of edge to them. He recognizes it right away. He's like, many thanks. Downs it in a shot.
Hopefully that'll help take the edge off of your pain until the rest of you heals up. And it's not too often when you work on becoming a kebab, so I'm glad you're still amongst the living.
He is genuinely happy, much improved. Feels a lot better about the whole thing. Hang on 1 second. Timeout, bio break, whatever you need.
Hey,
All right.
leave it to Azatan to bring the opioid epidemic into the Zynthian plains.
Listen.
Good job, buddy.
Out of game question. Can you
Shoot.
do a sneak attack with a short sword?
I don't think. No.
I
Let
mean,
me
the
look it
sneak
up.
attack is.
Sneak
I don't
attack
see
has
why
an
you wouldn't be
activation
able to.
date. I think it's okay. Let me make certain.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it would be a problem.
Especially
finesse
because my
weapon.
road has sneak attack.
Does it have to be a finesse weapon?
Yes, it has to be a finesse weapon.
Then is the short sword?
Yes.
Okay,
The
then,
It
short
is.
sword
It
is
is a
finesse.
light finesse weapon.
then we're fine.
Mhm.
Look at you.
I have to update my cheat sheet now.
I got a +3 hammer of splattering.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what you can do with that hammer. Cause the good news is that's also gonna make it easier for me to get ingredients out of dead bodies if they're not slashed to pieces.
True.
I'm
And now
feeling
that
some
I've-
judgment over here.
Just a lot.
Trying to help.
I know. The dice were not in your favor.
No, they were not, because that was with the modifier that I had a 4.
Oh,
Oh no.
Well, that's how that dice roll went.
Yeah, really. Just decided to have a real bad day.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Bringing back some freelance medicine. I'll be right back.
Woohoo.
Is a short sword a one-handed thing or a two-handed thing?
One.
One.
I believe so, yes.
Sorry about that.
Oh, that's quite all right.
The short sword would be, I believe it's one-handed. Let me double check for you.
Yep.
Oh dear.
The last time I remember my character has used a short sword was when she jumped out of the tree and ended up stabbing herself with it. And since then, I have only used daggers.
Oh,
It is considered a light weapon, small, easy to handle.
It's a finesse weapon.
Finesse, yeah, it's a one-hander.
Yep.
Cool.
You can surprise shank somebody with that.
Cool.
oh, why do you keep giving her ideas?
Surprise!
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Well, no, actually, my head was going with, oh, I can still have a dagger in the other hand. That was where my brain was going.
Yeah, you won't be able
Oh,
to use
yeah.
it. You won't be able to use it as effectively as oof.
No,
Dundon.
but I can do the initial one with the short sword and then the second one with the dagger.
Very true.
Because that's only going to add, oh, my math. That can add a minimum of 5 up to 9 additional.
Very nice.
Okay.
If I remember to use it.
If I remember. It is a quiet night, passes uneventfully. The caravan pulls itself back together in the morning, one cart short, but the majority of the actual caravan supplies and equipment and saleable items seem to have survived. And actually, after some rest, the next day, the caravan moves out fairly smartly. And by the end of that day, Altus lets you know that you will be rolling into the village of Crucipad.
Crucipad.
Crucipad. I actually like that name.
I was about to say, I fucking love these names.
And
Is there anything we should know about Crucipad?
he is uncertain. It's been a while since he's been through, so he's not sure.
Hmm.
And here we go. We're going to have to use a little bit of imagination because I have not had time to work on this.
Boo.
Moo?
And
Said boo.
Ah,
Oh, that's still much better than what I was expecting.
oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, really. That's great. Love that. Hold on. Let me make sure I think I've got everything in there. Yep, everything's in there.
so I don't have it populated. This is so that you have frame of reference and we can talk about various things as the caravan rolls into town. As the caravan rolls into town, it is Town is a strong word. This is village, but there is a statue of an Azinthian with a spear
Ah,
at the crossroads. And it is it's a decent, it's a really good looking. It is essentially a combi hunter. And it's of a significant size.
Yeah.
So the trade route has rolled through here for some time. Directly across from the crossroads, the larger building with the smoke coming out of it, which Altus actually says if you're going to stay someplace, that is an option. It's probably the best option. You could go there or essentially around to the back way on the other side of the buildings and the stable. There's another place to stay. Your call, basically, but he kind of seems like he's leaning to the place that's right in front of the statue.
Works for me.
The place right in front of the statue is called Against the Grain. And everything is decorated with wheat. It's a wheat motif.
They're clearly not in a wheat shortage.
Thank you for the callback. Save the bread.
Oh God.
yep.
The previous campaign.
No, that was the
No, that
beginning
was
of
the-
this one.
Oh.
Yeah, that
Very
was the very
beginning.
start of this one.
This was before you.
Oh yeah. Okay.
This is before you.
That was our
cruel.
half elf.
Cruel.
It's BE before Elsbeth.
So I don't know how much of the town I can see as of right now, but I do notice there is a large blue squarish building off to
The thing that looks like a temple.
Bottom
cross
right.
town. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
What is the temple of?
So as you're rolling into town,
Always
Let
good to know
me-
so we don't, offend.
see if I can make this happen. Sure. All right. Oh, do I have a text? Wait, do I have a text tool? Ooh. Is this going to work?
Oh no. Be aware, the DM has learned how to write.
Oh, you're gonna die. I have a text tool, but it apparently doesn't work well at all.
I don't see anything.
Hang on. Nope, that text tool didn't work right. All right. So we're gonna fall back on wow. Sorry.
You're good.
New tool difficulty.
All good.
Nope. That's crap.
It's because we're zoomed. Our pictures are so tiny.
Well, just zoom in. It's a big town. It's a big village. It takes
Well-
a village.
So the thing about this is
Oh, okay.
That was an F.
yeah, I was kind of trying for a couple of things. The little white dot right there is actually the text.
Yeah, I just zoomed in and realized what it was.
What white dot?
It's
So
gone now,
the grid is actually supposed to be 5 feet, and you should be able to measure
Oh, yeah.
For example, the front of that building that I was just messing with should be like 25 feet across,
Yes.
right? Which is about the size of the end of a normal house,
Right.
right? Which is precisely what that is. It's the end of a farmhouse that, you know, there's bales of hay and stacks of hay and a cart, and it's essentially, it's a farm.
Okay.
Next to that farm is a sturdy looking building, the gray one, that has solid stone walls and tightly built roof, tight masonry stone chimney. All of the windows are barred. Essentially, as you're kind of looking around, Altus is essentially says, "Oh, that's the constable, and the building beyond it is the barracks."
Gotcha.
Okay.
To your right, coming in, there's a couple of houses. Again, farm. The very first one on the right looks very neat and very well taken care of. Tidy is a word you would use for it. The one with the smoke, as I said, is against the grain. That's the main inn. There's a well. There's essentially a caravan camp, another farm behind them. As you're going down the left side of the street past the statue, there's a store, essentially trading post sort of thing.
Yay.
The mayor's house is the right next door to that. There's a couple of other like very well-to-do buildings, another well. The place at the end of town out there looks quite run down, and essentially abandoned. It's almost like it was another inn and it just didn't make it.
All right.
Behind the store, residence, lumberyard. As you're rolling into where the statue is, Altus says, so if you take the road straight up to the north, that's where the grove is.
Bro.
Oh yes, it's one of the Golden Circle groves.
Let's go
Gotcha.
see.
Oh.
How far?
Oh, not far at all.
Good to know.
Is a relatively short walk. It's the Golden Circle representatives are known as essentially
Lawbringers
wandering wisdom people. They help with healing, crops, judgment, that sort of thing. That's what part of what they provide as part of like essentially wandering law services.
I'm unfortunately familiar.
And he does say, you know, there's some buildings behind the other inn that is here is called the Dragon Inn, which he finds tremendously amusing, but still doesn't want to stay there.
Is it the Red Dragon Inn?
No, it's dragon, as in he was dragging you in.
Drag in.
Yeah, no. I'm not running this game, or that had been the joke.
Fair enough.
So is that the gray building with the smoke next to the temple?
No, that's the smith.
Smithy.
And next to the smithy, basically at the outer edge of the town, there is the temple, and that is a temple to Nox.
Oh,
I want to go see.
want
Okay.
another holy symbol?
Well, no, I
Um,
have Temple of Nox holy symbols.
I think you do have one, in fact.
I do.
All right.
I'm gonna get it out and polish it nice and shiny. Hold on, let me see which one I have.
So basically, we're in a town, village, small village, which corresponds with the Golden Circle on a regular basis.
Oh, the representative is well known here.
Yes.
He lives just up, basically just up the road.
Which house?
Oh no, he lives in the Grove,
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
where he would be. Yes.
the Sacred Grove.
Yeah. Because it makes sense.
Yeah, golden circle everywhere. Makes complete sense.
All righty. Well, we should probably get some lodging before we start wandering off and
Yes.
running our mouths.
Give me passive perception, please.
13.
Passive perception. Shit, that would have. Does that include your proficiency bonus as well?
If you're proficient.
oh.
Welcome to wisdom. Yes, thankfully. It's 10 plus that plus that. Yep. 17.
Oh, hold on.
Unnatural 20.
Oh no, it's passive, not a roll. 10 plus all relevant modifiers.
I'm sorry. 10 plus all blah, blah, blah,
18.
blahs.
It's 10 plus your for you because you're not proficient with wisdom. It's 10 plus your wisdom modifier.
I got you. So that goes to 11.
18.
Dundon, you're a little less familiar with the conceptual movement of caravan stuff this way. The rest of you are like, it kind of scratching your head, like it's kind of quiet in town. There's not a lot going on. As you roll in, and you're kind of seeing people like peeking out the windows, shutting the shutters again. Like this does not feel like, hey, the caravan's rolling into town. This feels like, who are those people and why are they here?
Okay.
It's not hey. It's not hey. It's the caravan. It's the caravan.
It's not even that. It's more like, who
Stranger
are you?
danger.
Yeah.
Is this normal?
I have a feeling it's not.
Altus kind of wasn't keyed into that at all until you said something.
Yeah, I'm concerned.
And
he's like,
so what does he say?
No, not at all. You should probably head on into the grain. I'm going to take the rest of our group over to the camping area.
Stay close to one another.
Yeah.
Yeah. My hood is still up. I don't have a wig yet. Or did I get a chance to get a wig?
Good idea.
We haven't had a chance to get a wig yet.
Yeah, no wig yet. We'll find you. It'll be okay. Don't worry at all.
If I can't put the bounty in on your head, no one else is.
Dun, dun, dun. All right, so I guess we're gonna head inside against the grain and ring the bell, as it were.
When you roll in, you could see there are 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 total people sitting around all the empty tables, and the bartender / proprietor. It's a long, narrow room with the bar set at the back, basically,
Yep.
and then doors out either side at the back to wherever else that goes. So the big common room is essentially right up front, and it is long, straight back to the bar with scattered tables.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The owner is big.
Like big or like big?
Yes.
Oh.
He looks like maybe once upon a time he was a scary Azinthian hunter. these days, he looks like a scary, scary lunch hunter.
Well, he
his-
went from hunting beast to roast beef.
Yes.
Roasting beast. Oh, so okay.
I'm gonna
Um,
do perception on the people that are there.
Sure.
Oh. I got nothing, I can tell you already.
So you,
You
can tell
were
that they're people.
distracted by the person playing the lute. That is not one of the guests. That is somebody perched on the end of the bar, 1 foot up on the stool, 1 foot dangling, playing a little tune. She is, you'd guess human, but kind of scrawny for a human. You can't really tell. Lots of hair, big hair.
Care.
Motley dress, patchwork, fancy cape.
Oh,
It's Lita Ford.
it's a bard.
Indeed.
It's Lita Bard.
But you do see the other folks do seem to be at least paying half an ear. She doesn't sound bad. And the owner, great, like kind of fading gray, greasy kind of hair, stubble, also gray, greasy apron. You're like, ooh, cleanliness, not top of the list. Got
Great.
Great.
it.
How many rooms do we need, guys?
Two.
Two men, two
Two.
women.
Two.
Okay.
We're looking for 2 rooms if you got them.
Well, you're in luck. We have openings.
I missed what he said.
It wasn't what he said, it was the facial expressions that went along with
Yeah.
it that were just like, we have openings. It's great. This is gonna be a great character, I know it. And he's gonna either die immediately or never show up again.
I feel like this is the start of the
Beautiful
serial killer
friendship.
with the
What's the,
serial killer with skin.
The what?
I was like, this is giving me like reminding me of the serial killer with the skin. Like I just feel like all of a sudden we're gonna find ourselves in a well.
Oh, Buffalo Bob.
Yes, thank you.
So what's the going rate for a room and maybe a meal?
3 silver a night for the room, per room.
3 silver a night for the room. Okay.
And if you want fancy breakfast, that's another 2 silver.
Fancy breakfast.
What if we want an unfancy breakfast?
I'll send you out back.
Fancy
that?
breakfast is fine.
Fancy breakfast sounds wonderful.
And super fancy dinner cost you 5 each.
What's super fancy dinner?
What comes with the super fancy dinner?
Napkins.
Rabies.
I'd like to insight check this guy. I don't have a good feeling about this.
Oh, I have a great feeling about this. I'm going to ask him if he wants to buy any of our, buy a bottle of whiskey.
Hang on. So what will your insight roll give you?
I'm trying to. Okay, the town feels deserted. There's no one in the better of the two inns here. Is this guy actually on the level? Is he upcharging?
So in terms of, let me.
I'm a
He's the
noble.
gatekeeper.
I'm a
What's
noble.
that?
I have no concept of money. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Trying to remember if there's a thing in here. There used to be a chart or a table that would give you like a sort of a basic thing for services, like a basic.
Oh, yes, there
cost.
is.
Yes.
Yeah, there is.
It's
in the
near
equipment
the.
section.
I was about to say it's near or in the equipment section of the book.
Yeah. Equipmentations.
Okay.
Equipment
Are you looking
150.
food, drink, and lodging right here? You're looking for page 159.
Okay, I'm on 157. Food, the drink, and the lodging. Suddenly we're
So-
talking like it is.
He's not
Wow.
really super far off,
No.
but
It's a small village.
yeah, I mean,
I'm kind of
Right.
hoping that if we go along with it, we're not going to get chopped up in the middle of the night.
Exactly. And besides, where else are we gonna go? Sleep in the stables?
Yeah, no.
there was the other place, but
You mean the one that's run down at the end of town? No. We're worried
the-
about getting chopped up into bits and winding up in a bathtub here, let alone there.
I'm more concerned about running into another land shark over at the campgrounds.
I'm worried
So-
about running into another fucking druid.
so
I
In
want to go see
general-
that Temple of Knox.
in general,
Yep.
it's sort of in line, but you get the impression it feels like he thinks he's upcharging you.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He's like,
Yeah, and I rolled a 21, so
Yeah, you're like, oh, he thinks he's upcharging, and that's sort of like standard prices from where
I'll
I'm
accept
at.
that.
yeah,
And when you don't flinch, he's like,
hey,
fine, fancy dinner it is.
so
He leans around the corner. He goes, hey, dog root, back to work. 4 more dinners.
I'm sorry, did you say dog root?
it's a
Shut-
fine family
Can I
name.
pet him?
It's a fine family name.
I don't think that was a last name.
If you pet dog root, he'll stab you. Well, depending on where you pet him.
I'm going to my room.
Alrighty. So about that bottle of whiskey, interested?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Is it any good? I mean, you just came in off the road.
You look like you just came off the road too.
Thea, we're gonna go to the
I've
room.
already said I was going to my room. I'm not here for this.
Yeah, why
Make
don't
it
you go get
abundantly
yourself
clear.
settled in? Go help Elsbeth not get lost.
Go keep Elspeth
Please.
safe and then go count like nails and planks.
I'm not near this catastrophe.
Count the number of boards in the floor of the room. Oh,
I'm just gonna
I'm gonna
wander
study my
away
magic
and
notes
see
until
what I
dinner.
can if I can investigate and find, just kind of rogue my way around.
she's gonna wander around and see what she can steal.
I
Yes,
want
it's actually very, very fine whiskey that we brought along with us. I'd be willing to allow you.
Oh, do you really want to sell it though?
mean-
It's some really good stuff, and we're not going to be able to pick it up again in a while.
Yeah, but I have another bottle, so I'm as a token of goodwill.
Mm,
I'm willing to give
Willing
him a
to
taste and an option. You know,
partake in a part of a priceless bottle of whiskey. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
And as I'm saying, it's a priceless bottle of whiskey. Yes, absolutely.
I'm interested in seeing if maybe he'd want to barter for lodging and meal
For all of us.
and any information he might have. As I'm talking to Azathan, not to the
No, we are
not to
talking.
the owner.
We are talking. We're doing the really obvious thing.
We're talking amongst ourselves without Thea saying, "You look like you just rolled in off the road yourself." So, I look back to the barkeep and I just, so, would you be interested in, all
He pulls up a battered mug
right,
that's wooden, takes the grubby apron, wipes it in the end, and he goes, "No," and turns around and walks in the kitchen.
all right. Fair enough.
That's good. I didn't want to lose any of the whiskey to him anyway, so
I
But
just
since you were at the bar, the lute player leans in and says, "Ooh, whiskey?
for information,
Ooh, well, perhaps we
useful
could-"
information.
Oh, look at you changing the term so quickly.
Because I
love
not
this.
my first rodeo.
Ooh, so you like to ride. Excellent.
We heard the cackle all the way from his room. Her room. Oh,
I have a jaunty tune just for that. She launches into one of the dirtiest limericks you've heard in a long time.
Thank God I'm not in the room right now. I think Ellsworth would be neon.
Azathan is just going to sit there and watch for a moment. And just let her go through the whole thing. Just let her go through the whole song. It's, are you hitting on me?
You get one flat note. Blah. No, I was
Good.
not. And she hops down off the bar and wanders away.
Good.
You guys are just killing it.
You have the social skills of a dead squirrel.
Listen, I have a charisma of 12, but I collect spores, okay?
Mold spores of fungi.
That went
Yeah,
exactly about as well as I was hoping it would. I'm so
I'll
glad.
do the talking from here on out as far as,
Listen,
social skills. Whew. I'm just gonna pour myself a small glass.
listen, I just needed to know. I'm taken.
Could have just opened. I'm not there. I'll shut up.
At least I asked rather than assumed. Because that would have been real awkward.
That's true.
So
All right.
she wanders away and picks up a seat at an empty table somewhere else and keeps sort of strumming along.
Yes, save the whiskey. Yes.
What are you planning to do with this whiskey?
Drink it.
That'll make some real good fucking medicine. What do you mean?
It already is medicine.
I mean,
Anesthesia,
it's whiskey.
that's what it's called.
It's whiskey.
I mean, yes, but also, that'll help enhance some of the other things that I have in my repertoire.
Great.
Who's
Okay.
talking clearly isn't one of them.
No, not in the slightest. Never has been, never will be.
Maybe you should have a couple sips and see if it helps your conversational skills.
So
Go ahead. Let's lower that filter.
Yeah. No. Oh yeah. Give the antisocial sociopath no filter. Let's go.
It couldn't get any worse.
Oh, that
All right,
sounds like
so,
a challenge.
I'm
So
gonna park
as
it
you-
at a table.
as you
Right.
find yourself a table and sit down, do you take the time to look around more than the person in passing who kind of blew it?
Yeah.
Okay. So of the other people sitting there, there is this sort of shaggy looking, like regular human dude. But I say human because the one thing that catches your attention is, so there's the bard, two other humans, but there is someone there who has grayish, harsh skin, pointy ears, and at least one tusk that you can see.
Interesting.
And he is decidedly bigger than you might think for a human. Not outlandishly so, but reminds you a lot of Faliki. And there is the one person that was almost escaped notice is basically sitting off in the far corner, like when you came in the door, the back right corner as you were walking in. There is somebody sitting there who has essentially a book, an inkwell, pen,
Quill.
essentially. Quill, thank you. Verbs are hard.
Yep.
Who seems to sort of have an eye on things, but is really sort of studying
Bard.
and
Half-orc.
looks like that person might have slightly pointy ears. You're not sure. Hard to tell from here.
Hmm.
Like Elvin?
Not fully, but probably.
All right. I cannot for the life of me remember what race Faliki is.
Half-orc.
Half orc? Okay.
So we have a
Yeah, this
half-orc,
guy.
a half-elf,
And a couple
And-
humans.
a couple humans, but one that mostly looks humans, but with like really big hair.
Yeah.
Now hold
bard
on. When you say big hair, do you mean like
think 80s hairstyle.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Okay,
this is
I was
like
gonna-
80s rock star.
I was gonna say, are we talking like afro, or are we talking like what's her face, who's mostly made of plastic now?
Dolly Parton.
Cher.
Oh. Same difference.
Yeah, same difference.
No, not the same difference. And
No, it's not. I know.
80s hair, like
Like rock and roller hair, or
Like basically it's teased up to,
it's
like
this huge mane of teased up hair and
Aquanet.
patchwork outfit with
Oh my
cape,
God.
and it's very performancy.
That's the bard though, correct?
Yeah, that's the
Yes.
bar.
Yeah, okay.
There's the half orc who is just, pardon me. Who's
What
just
is there a
sit-
sleeping spell in this place?
Yes.
Quiet, safe place to rest? Probably.
It's also called 920.
I'm sorry. Every time you say the forbidden Q word, there's a part of me that's like, everything is gonna go wrong.
Yep.
Yeah.
I get it.
Not yet.
Not yet. We're gonna get a good rest in before things go straight to hell.
Oh God.
I mean, come on.
Well,
So-
at least let us settle into the handbasket.
So that way we're fully in the handbasket as it goes to hell.
Yeah.
You look up and you say, "Where are we going? Why am I in this handbasket?"
Why is it moving?
Why is it
Speaking of-
getting warmer?
Speaking of looking up, do I recognize any decorative furnishings? I know there's a grain motif.
It is. I want you to know. Look how close to hand this was.
Wow.
You are
Are
a
we psychic?
master game master here, leading us straight into that pun.
It is right. It is hanging right here, just outside of camera range, in case I need it for any given meeting.
That is phenomenal.
I've now remembered that scene in Portal 1 where you drop one of the personality spheres into the furnace and it's the curiosity one who goes, "Do you smell something burning?"
Yeah.
You do, in fact, smell something burning.
Oh, that's our dinner.
Yep. The owner comes back out, bump, 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 drops 4 bowls, big, now, to be fair, big bowls, onto the counter. Where's your friends? Fancy dinner. He goes, oh, super fancy dinner. And he leans under the
Napkins.
counter and goes, plunk, 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 and puts out silverware with a cloth napkin rolled around him.
Woo! Thank you, sir.
I'll
He is
go.
gonna wander back in.
I that was not lost on me.
I oh
all,
just
the,
as
all the best ingredients.
yeah.
I'm gonna dig right in.
As an aside,
I'm a
I'm just
dwarf.
imagining
I can
Thea
handle
like
it.
like as soon as like I'm just gonna go rogue around, she just walks off and is like just walking around like half crouched, just sneaking around. Everyone can plainly see her.
No, it's not the Mission Impossible music that you were going with. It was, don't be suspicious. Don't be.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't be suspicious.
Yes.
Don't be. As just getting increasingly louder with every time. Yeah, absolutely.
What was
So
the cost of a room, by the way?
the stew that I'm eating?
It's god awful. It's terrible.
But it's super fancy, so I'm gonna keep going.
But it's very filling. I mean,
Well, that's good.
it's there's potato, there's turnip, there's sauce.
Yeah, the broth is some sort of amalgam of meat.
I have a
Yep.
question. How much did the room cost so I can mark my finances accordingly?
What did I say?
3 silver a night.
There you go.
Yeah, 3 silver a night. We're probably gonna be here for like one night, right?
I
And then it
hope.
was
We
5.
should probably find out from Alphys how things are going outside.
And super fancy dinner was 5 silver.
Yep.
Not even worth it.
Hey. You haven't had any yet.
So
Yeah,
They
no, I'm
wandered
going to
back
come
out.
back out and smell it.
yeah, they wandered back out. They could smell the
yeah,
burning.
okay.
Yeah.
They burned the stew.
So,
Oh,
okay, so
You
I
do
have
get a little bit of like a crispy burnt thing, like it got peeled up off the bottom of the pot. There's a little
Ooh,
bit of
yummy.
that in there. Just
okay.
for texture.
I have
my
a
daily
question.
iron. It's the-
So,
literally.
Please.
This is
bottom of the
god
pot.
awful for Dundon.
Yeah, you're
Should I
gonna
be
need to
making
make
a
a con
con save?
check.
Oh, jeez.
You're not certain you want to eat. That's where you're at.
I
Got it.
You're like,
I have rations.
I am gonna try the stew.
I'm
Oh, it's
gonna lean
awful.
over and ask the barkeep if he's got a hunk of bread, or did the bread come with it?
oh, sure, bread.
You
And
need
when he
your
comes
dose of
when he
penicillin.
comes back out of the kitchen, you see him. Here you go.
brushing the fuzz off. Yeah, all right. Oh,
He
lovely.
turns back around. He's like, dog root. We're gonna make another loaf.
Dog face. Food.
Listen, that was perfectly good mold. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
See.
yeah.
Honestly, it's like the moment I know Dundon's food is done and his back is turned, I'm just gonna swap our bowls.
You're treating Dundon like the fucking family dog. You can't do that.
Hey, I do eat a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
The magic refilling bowl. Your
Yes.
bowl is still full.
That's the super fancy part.
yes.
I am
Suddenly lost my
Lovely.
appetite.
I am going to endeavor to try and eat the food.
It's edible. It won't kill you
I don't trust that.
today.
I'm gonna
It's how it works its way out of your system is probably.
Thus the day disclaimer.
yeah, thank
I'll
God.
I'll stick with
Yeah.
my rations, thanks.
I'm gonna put some special ingredients in my bowl.
Every time he says special ingredients, I just get this picture of him like,
Just reach into a pouch and just
Drop a mushroom.
there's absolutely mushrooms going into this fucking stew. It's gonna be a great time. Well, I'm gonna have a great time.
You make yours markedly better.
Yes.
hey, can you put a little bit on my magic bowl
Yes.
as well?
I will also put some of them. I will also add mushrooms of the non-magical variety to.
Dundon with the hey, spot me a mushroom.
I'll take a magical mushroom.
No.
It's gonna be a grand
No.
old time.
That's what we need you with less impulse control.
No. I will reach
Bogart
into
the
some
mushroom.
my alchemical pouch and pull out some what looks like small portions of mushroom that have been chopped and just.
He's got
put them
criminy
onto the
mushrooms in
food.
his pouch. You know, he just do.
Listen, on-demand medication.
Good.
Of the non-magical variety for you. As for me, it's going to be real interesting here in about 20 minutes.
Lovely. I'm gonna pour myself a glass of whiskey. Either of you want to
Please.
partake? I'll pour them a glass of whiskey each as well.
Thank you.
Elspeth, you don't drink.
I've never had much in the way of anything outside of wine.
I encourage you try it.
I'll pour Elsbeth a finger.
This is the good news
Yes.
is it might burn a little bit, but it's going to be smooth as hell.
Just sip it.
Okay.
Take it all. Take it all.
Don't.
Gulp. All right, so we're enjoying a lovely meal.
See, just like he said, super fancy.
It is super fancy.
And speaking of super fancy, we have hit 9:30.
Oh,
Oh man.
just
all right.
in time for them to take my dishes away.
All right. And